Good morning. Welcome to the online classes on problem solving using C. In the previous classes, we have studied about the history and the basic structure of the C programming. In this class, we will see about the flowchart and the algorithm. First, let us see what is program. Collection of instructions that can be executed by the computer to perform a specific task is called as program. So you have set of instructions are there or set of codes are there which is used to perform specific task that is called as program. So while coming to creation of the program, we have mainly two phases are there. The first phase is called as problem solving phase. The second phase is called as implementation phase. While coming to the problem solving phase, you are going to produce the sequence of steps that describes the solution to the problem. The sequence of steps are algorithm. In the implementation step or the implementation phase, you are going to implement the solution that you have found in the problem solving phase to the programming language. The programming language, it can be C, it can be Java, it can be Python, it can be anything. Steps in problem solving. Here we are going to see the different steps that is involved in problem solving phase. The first step is you are going to create general algorithm. The general algorithm will be in pseudocode. And what is pseudocode? Pseudocode is an artificial or informal language that helps the programmer to develop algorithm. So here the pseudocode can be also called as false code. The pseudocode, it is in general English format. It is how we are going to write English. In the same manner it will be there. After you get the pseudocode or the general algorithm or the pseudocode, it is refined. It is refined to get the step by step detailed algorithm, or you can get the sequence of the algorithm. So let us understand the algorithm and the pseudocode by using the one example. So what is the problem that is given? Write an algorithm to determine student's final grade and indicate whether it is passing or failing. The final grade is calculated as the average of 4 marks. So what they have mentioned, we have to calculate the student's final grade, whether he is passing or whether he is failing, on based on what? Based on his marks. How many marks we have to calculate? We have to calculate average of 4 marks. So we have to get the 4 marks. Then we have to calculate the average of that. Afterwards, we have to determine whether the student is passing or failing. Let us first see the pseudocode, how it is written. In the pseudocode, as I already mentioned, it is written in the general English. So let us see that. Okay, the pseudocode. So what? Input a set of 4 marks. Calculate, the second step is what? Calculate the average by summing and dividing by 4. If average is below 50, print fail, else print pass. So in the first thing we are saying that we have to collect the 4 marks, and then we are telling we have to collect the average, calculate the average by summing and dividing by 4. Afterwards we have to take the determine whether he is fail or pass. Let us go for the algorithm. As I already mentioned, algorithm is a refined pseudocode. It is a refined pseudocode, or it is a refined algorithm where you can make the proper step by step sequence is presented. So what is step 1? Step 1, input m1, m2, m3, m4. So what you are doing here? You are accepting 4 marks. Marks 1 is M1, marks 2 is M2, marks 3 is M4 and marks 4 is M4. Next, what is that? We have to calculate the average, right? So that is step 2. Step 2, so how it is done? So I'm creating one variable called as grade, and what I'm doing? I'm summing up M1 plus M2 plus M3 plus M4 divided by 4. That is second step. What is the third step? Third step, I have to check whether his grade is lesser than 50, right? So I'm checking that. Step 3, if grade is lesser than 50, then what I have to print? I have to print his fail. If that is not the case, that means grade is 50 or more than 50, then what is the case? That is else it should be printing pass. Afterwards I have used if condition, right? So I have to close that, so I am using end if. So if you see the difference between pseudocode and the algorithm, pseudocode is written in the general format, while coming to the algorithm, it is written in the step-by-step sequence and it is refined algorithm. So it is refined, everything is mentioned here. What is the 4 marks? Variable 4 marks, M1, M2, M3, M4. How the grade is calculated, right? Everything is mentioned properly. How the grade is calculated? You are going to add M1 plus M2 plus M3 plus M4 divided by 4. But what about pseudocode? It is not mentioned properly, right? They have given just mentioned that you have to sum it up and then you have to divide it by 4. But while coming to the algorithm, you are given the clear instructions is provided. So in the step 3 also, how it is checked, grade is lesser than 50. Then print fail, or you can print the pass. Afterwards you have to stop the if condition. So we are using end if. Flowchart. Flowchart is a graphical representation of the sequence of operation in an information system or program. So while coming to the flowchart, it is a graphical representation of the operations. It can be input operation, whether it can be starting and ending of the program, or it can be processing, it can be condition, it can be branching. So while coming to the flow chart, it will very helpful when you want to understand the complexity of the program, or when you want to document the program, it is very useful. Or when you want to create the program also using the flow chart, it is very easy. So let us see the information system flow chart. Information system flow chart shows how the data flows from source document through the computer to the distribution to the user. So it will only mention the how the data flow is there in that particular program. While coming to the program flow chart, it shows the flow of the instruction from one part to the another. So it shows the flow of the instruction in a single program, or whether it can be in the subroutine, or whether it can be subroutine is subprogram, okay, whether it can be in the subroutine or whether it in the macros, etc. So let us see the symbols of the flowchart. The first one is terminator. The terminator is the oval shape or the rounded rectangle, so which will be having start and end. They will be mainly indicating the starting and the ending point of the flowchart. Next one is processing. While coming to the processing, it is represented in the rectangle structure or rectangle shape. So it is mainly used to represent different events, and the action or the logical part is represented in the processing part. For example, here I am using it for the calculation. I am using it for the calculation of the simple interest, right? P into T into R divided by 100. Next is input and output. Input and output is you are collecting the data, that is input. What is output? You are displaying the answer or you are displaying the output, that is the output. So it is represented in the parallelogram and it represents the information that is you are accepting or you are displaying. Next is decision. Decision is represented in the diamond structure or the rhombus structure. So while coming to the decision, you will be having certain condition in the decision and the branches or the lines coming out of the decision structure will leads to the different sub process. For example, if the condition is true, then it takes you to the one subroutine. If the condition is false, then it takes you to the another subroutine or another set of lines. Okay. On page reference or the connector, the shape used is circle and it is going to have certain label. Now what is the use of the connector? Connector is used to connect or show the link between two parts of the same algorithm. Okay, so what is happening here? Let us consider I have very large program is there or very large algorithm is there or very large flowchart is there which cannot be fitted in the same page or single page if I am writing continuously. So what I am going to do? If this monitor is single page, I am going to write the first half of the algorithm in one side. Okay, then I am going to write the second half of the algorithm in this side. Okay, but I have to know that how it is connected, right? Or they are connected. Since I want to know them or show them they are connected to the same algorithm, I am going to use the connector. So I'm going to label them also. If I'm labeling them A here, in the top also it is going to be labeled A. If I'm going to label them B, then there also it is going to be labeled B. Now next one is off page reference or the connector. Now again it is used to connect two algorithm or two half parts of the same algorithm. But the only difference between off page connector and the on page connector is the on page connector is you are going to connect the parts of the algorithm in the same page. While coming to the off page connector, you are going to connect the parts of the algorithm which is present in the different pages. For example, I am going to write the algorithm complete, if the complete algorithm is there, I am going to write the half algorithm in one page and then I am going to turn the page and I am going to write the another half in the another page. So that time I am going to use the off page connector and off page connector is going to have the label also. It is similar to your on page connector. Next is arrows. Arrows is mainly used to show the flow of control. The arrows coming from one symbol and it is ending to the another symbol represent the control or the data is passed from one step to another step. Okay, so let us, we have calculated the marks for the student or we have calculated the grade for the student. The first step is start. The second step is you are going to take the input, that is in the parallelogram format. Input M1, M2, M3, M4. Either you can take the four inputs together or you can take them separate. Input M1 and another structure input M2, another parallelogram input M3, another parallelogram input M4. That can be also done. Next step is you are calculating, right? So grade is equal to m1 plus m2 plus m3 plus m4 divided by 4. Okay. Afterwards, what you have to do? Afterwards, we have to make decision, right? Whether the grade is above 50 or lesser than 50. So I am going to do that. Is grade. So decision is based on the diamond structure, right? So is grade lesser than 50? If it is true, then what I have to do? I have to print fail. If it is false, then what I have to do? Print pass. If you remember properly, in the decision, I have mentioned that branches coming out from the decision will determine the different steps, right? For example, if this is true, if the condition is true, then it is going to print 5. If the condition is false, then it is going to print false. Then is the end. So if you see here arrow, it shows the relationship between one step to another step also. How the data is flowing, how the control is flowing. So here this is by mistake, okay? This should be one-sided arrow. Thank you.